Joining us now, as I said earlier, she's the senior advisor for the U.S. Agency for Global Media and a friend of mine, Kari Lake, back on the program. Kari, it is so nice to see you. It's been too long because I know you're in D.C. working hard to find the fraud, waste, and abuse within this agency you're working for to save me and the millions of taxpayers our money. And so I appreciate you for that because, see, here on this show and this network, we like to report facts, not that you're gutting some crucial media outlet that's going to be devastating. No, you're getting rid of a bunch of bloated bureaucrats that frickin' deserve it in my book. Hi, Kari.
Hi, Dan. Good to be with you. Boy, people are losing their minds over this. Let me just tell you how it came about. Well, first of all, I work for President Trump and the American people, and I am the senior advisor at the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which oversees Voice of America, and Office of Cuba Broadcasting, which broadcasts to Cuba. We hope to see freedom for the people of Cuba someday. And in my job there, I got an email from Office of Cuba Broadcasting saying it would really be nice if you could help see if we can get feeds from, One American News, and they threw out Fox News as well. And so I said, I could look into it, and I'm happy to see if we can provide you with feeds that would help you with your coverage. And I reached out to OAN, and Charles Herring, the owner, I believe, said, yeah, we would love to help out, and we would be willing to offer our feeds for free. I mean, what a benefit to the taxpayer. The taxpayer, by the way, is footing the bill for this nearly $1 billion agency which broadcasts news to the world. Not here in America, but news to the world. And to offer your services, your news feed free of charge, I think is a huge benefit to taxpayers. Look, I can't force these agencies or these outlets to use the news, but I can offer it to them, and that's exactly what we've done. I think OAN has covered some of the most important stories fairly. They've taken a brave, courageous position to cover some of these stories where other news outlets were afraid. And we're offering your news services to both VOA and Office of Cuba Broadcasting. If they choose to use it, they can. It's just another option, another tool in their tool belt as they put together their newscasts.
So let me clarify this for the radical left in the mainstream media that must be in cheap seats because they don't hear too well. So you were approached. I would assume you have that email or text to back it up that you were approached.
I do.
Okay, perfect. So you didn't bring it up. You're not forcing OAN down anybody's throat. They have to watch it. They have to take it, right?
Yep.
This is going to be just offered. If they want to use it globally, they can in different countries. Okay. So wasn't Trump's idea, wasn't Kari's idea. Somebody else's idea in Cuba said, okay, we offer it free so we save the taxpayers money, and they can use it or not use it. Gee, this sounds so horrible, Kari. You big, nasty oligarch. How are you? I can't believe you're doing this to the American people. How dare you?
Well, there's only one thing I would correct. Office of Cuba Broadcasting, it broadcasts from Miami. It's here in America.
Okay.
They broadcast to Cuba, to
Gotcha.
the people of Cuba who've been so oppressed for so long, and we think about them often and want to see freedom and liberty to the people of Cuba as well. So it was asked that we inquire. It was suggested, and then I inquired, and much to my surprise, Charles Herring, the owner of OAN, immediately said, absolutely yes. And not only will we provide you our news service, we're happy to do so free. We don't want to charge the American people, which is paying for all this entire outlet. The American people fund the entire outlet. And
I
we
can't
don't want
believe
to
that
charge
budget's that big. You said that the Voice of America has been costing us how much for years? Every year, what was their budget?
U.S. Agency for Global Media is nearly $1 billion. And
insane.
about half of that goes to grantees, Radio Free Europe, Radio Free Asia, Middle East Broadcasting Network, OTF, FMF. There's a whole bunch of different grantees, which, by the way, we're in the process of working out their new agreements and getting approved financial plans from them, and that's not going very well.
Yeah.
Of course, we've been dragged through court, but we're not afraid of going to court. We're not afraid of fighting for the taxpayer, because every time I look at the budget at this agency, I say, we got to make it so that the truck driver working overnights in Tucson, the nurse in Milwaukee, the farmer in Iowa, the the school teacher in California, when their hard-earned tax dollars are going out, they have to be willing to say, yes, that's worth my hard-earned tax dollars. I
Thank you,
don't want
Kari.
to waste a penny.
Thank you. And that's why, and I'm glad you corrected, it was the office down in Miami for Cuba Broadcasting. I'll correct, Charles is our CEO and president, but the owner is his dad and our boss, Mr. Herring, Robert Herring Sr. So, and he's always watching. So the boss man is Robert. He made the final approval, but Charles is our CEO and Bobby the other son. So it's a family. I mean, when you talk mom and pop, there's 3 Herrings here every day. The big boss and the 2 sons. Every day they're in their offices running this place.
And I love that you mentioned that because, in my opinion, after a 30-year career in broadcast media, the biggest problem is when we ceased having small or regional or family-owned media outlets and they became one big conglomerate. 5 or 6 corporations own the media in our country.
Nexstar and
so
Sinclair, and then ABC, NBC, CBS. I mean, you've only got a couple companies that own almost every affiliate and every TV station in this country. And that's why I point out that OAN is such a rarity. You and I understand it because we've been in the biz 30-some years. And that's why I stayed working here. Even though I was courted to go elsewhere, I'm not leaving the Herrings. Kari, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Even though you had nothing to do with it, somebody asked you to bring us on board. And I'm so glad we could clarify for all those liberals losing their ever-loving minds. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, and thanks for offering such great news for the world.
Well, we like to, tell the truth, unlike about 98% of the other media. Thanks, Kari.